combination has literally won Tundra LAN tournaments. So Amaru, they're gonna try their luck at it. Oscar and Knight the ones to go up against that deadly duo as we get into game number 1 of our best of 3. Amaru, I mean, they certainly have a very tall task ahead of them trying to take down these Titans on Tundra. But Tundra, it might just be another day in the office, and it comes at a pretty funny timing, right? Because most of the times, after TI, the later few tournaments in the year, it feels like it's closing out the season. But this is honestly still extremely important because it's going to give you that head start. If you manage to secure yourself a top 6 placement here at DreamLeague Season 27, you automatically get an invite to Season 28 and also ESL 1 Birmingham. That's a very, very big deal. So because of that, you get to skip through close qualifiers, you can just play the main event, and then you also start off the season having secured a whole bunch of EPT points. So suddenly, you're starting the season feeling less stressed about, we need to make sure to make up for our lack of EPT points. If not, we're not going to get to that Esports World Cup in Riyadh 2026. Of course, that's a whole long way ahead of us. We're still in the first day of the group stage. And Tundra making a very early smoke out, placing a ward behind the tower. That's certainly an interesting one.
Yeah, the smoke broke, so they were kind of hoping to place a ward to see some hero being alone there, so it's a free first blood for them. Kind of didn't work out. So I guess back to business, unless Ari is going to catch the SF, but doesn't seem like they're going to do anything about it.
It's a little bit of harass damage.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
I mean, if they wanted to go for that, the Tide had to commit for Gush 11. Maybe he doesn't feel like doing that. I think in this lane, Dragon Knight and Partner, you probably want to get your Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash level up as soon as possible so he can actually sit in the lane.
Yeah. So we already talked about the off lane for Amaru being very difficult and the mid lane being a walk in the park for the SF on paper. What about this off lane duo for Tundra? This Tide Hunter Bat Rider versus the DK Pugner. How does that go? Is it just AFK, trading farm? Are we expecting any action?
Probably, I feel like the kill threat will come from the Tide and the Bat. I think when you have your Gush and your Flame Break, Pugner can be like a very, very easy kill.
Are you watching our screen right now? What's going on with little old Tai Long? There's a bit of bullying going on or what? 100 HP in the mid lane. I'm not sure how BZM has managed that. But it's just pushed this SF all the way to the top. My goodness, what? How did he get here?
It is really, really bad news. I think he kind of overcommitted inside the Sandstorm to try and pressure the Sand King. And sometimes in this type of matchups, you tend to overplay your hand because you feel like you have the stronger hero in the lane and you try to get as much as you can and you pay the price.
Wow, look at that. BZM
this is
on the aggressive there, just straight in with the Burrow Strike, putting the Sandstorm in a very difficult position for Tai Lung to really walk up into.
I mean, this is also something that young players, I think they face a lot because they play a lot of pubs, right? And then in pubs, a certain matchup may feel like it's a walk in a park for you, and you're really, really confident to pick it in the official. But when you play against the top tier players, then it might feel like the matchup is not as easy as you think it is.
Yeah. BZM has played these games before. He knows exactly how to take advantage of an over-aggressive opponent, and Tai Lung kind of falling for the trap right now. He might feel that, I have a sentry in the mid lane, I can see the Sand King on paper, I should be in a good position, but not the case at all.
Normally that's the first thing you need to win against the Sand King, the sentry boss, right? You have to be able to devote and keep your sentry alive.
BZM's not really concerned about it at all. I mean, I can't take my eyes off this mid lane, even though we're looking at the shenanigans. Some of the lane pulling, no big deal. Classic Ari Bat Rider business, cutting the wave, pulling it all the way back to the safety.
I mean, you say Ari, I think it's more associated to 33 as well, right? Every time
that's true.
He's on the off lane, his support is always doing all sort of lane shenanigans. He's always kind of trying to avoid playing the lane, He's just trying to secure his own farm and he wants the solo XP and he wants the support to just leave him alone at some point.
That's true. I kind of have this feeling because obviously Tundra, they've gone through a few post falls in recent time, right? First it was Saksa and then of course now Ari. I feel like every time you're post fall and you try out for Tundra, you gotta pass a basic kind of creep pulling course with 33 first. If you can't make it through, you're not even in the trial.
I mean, you know what they say, the post 3 and post 4, they are partners for life, So you gotta make sure you choose the right partner.
Sure, I mean, right now, Oscar and Gardic looking like a very solid partnership, getting the first blood onto Whitemon. We were worried about this Beastmaster lane, but with that first blood, it's gonna feel pretty nice, I think.
Yeah, very, very nice. It's the power of the Hoodwink. Hoodwink, one of the stronger lane securing position for heroes. I mean, doing a really good job in this lane. I mean, in terms of CS, the Juggernaut is definitely still ahead, 15 and 8, but getting that kill definitely matters a lot, for the Beastmaster. I already said that the Beastmaster, he has to have a good side, to enable the SF and DK in this game. He has to be the important hero that the two supports play around when it comes to the mid game.
Bit of a spooky flame break in the mid lane. Tylon could have been in a compromising position. But with this rotation from Ari, it's going to deny the SF from any water rune, allowing BZM to get to.
Very big deal. The SF doesn't get his bottle refill. I mean, Bat is one of those supports where when you're SF, you're always very, very scared, when the hero is missing, because he can kill you with the repositioning. And now, he shows himself mid, and now he TP's bot. Ari is coming to gank the beast.
I mean, they might not even need Ari. Spinning onto Repugnance here. Dropping very low, the last bit of damage. Repugnance getting bounced back and will get taken down. Pure throwing down the healing ward, last bit of damage. Gardic needs to find the auto attack, but a Fairy Fire, a blast. Up to the high ground, the miss. They won't get him. The ball's still gonna try and chase. The slow is there. Gardic, he's a very speedy boy, but Whitemon's gonna be there to help out his carry. Isn't any further chase. One last auto attack is all you need. Pure, is he really going to get away with murder here? Whitemon walks away from that exchange with 2 kills, and Pure's turning it around. He's going for the spin, he's trying for the trade. It's not even a fair one. Pure, Whitemon, and Ari get 3 kills for themselves down here in the bot lane.
Man, I think he actually kind of wanted to die as well, get the kill and die, but now the Jakiro gives him a salve. So he kind of is like, okay, maybe I can still lane here. I have a cooldown on my healing ward, 10 seconds. Because I felt like the best case scenario is he kills the partner and he dies, so he gets to TP back to the lane with full resources. And now he has to wait for his career to send resources, and they have to play for the 6-minute rune,
I mean, this is not good at all, right? You're dragging so much attention down here to this bot lane for the Beastmaster. Sure, you're getting 1 or 2 kills in response, but then you're taking away the EXP from this hero that you talked about. For Amaru, so important. Oscar has to get off to this good start. Mid lane, look at Tai Lung, bounce back, perfect. BZM in with the barrel strike, winding up the epicenter. Will be able to get it off in time before the Requiem. Tries for a little bit of a raise, but can't find the range, and BZM and Ari will get it done right in time for the 6-minute rune. BZM gets himself a shield.
That was so close for the SF. If he could actually just Requiem and get 2 raises off. I think he faced the wrong direction when initially he was trying to cast his first range, so that kind of cost him a lot of time. And he didn't have enough time after that, when he cancelled his animation. So that was kind of unfortunate for Tai Lung there. Now BZM, even invading the jungle to farm the camps here with the Sand King, with his shield rune.
I mean, you look at BZM, I'm looking at Oscar here in the bot lane again, just being run at by Whitemon and Pure. The spin, level 3, way too powerful. Now Ari, he's gonna find himself in a bit of a pickle up on the high ground, surrounded by 2 enemy heroes. BZM trying to help him out here. The blast will find him, and I believe it was the Nether Ward that got the last hit, but look at this. 7-minute Wisdom Shrine, they're gonna try and contest for it. No epicenter, the TPs have to come in. Beastmaster is gonna try and rejoin his team, but can you really fight this? The DK's actually come through the Twin Gates to try and help, but he's far too late. And I don't think he feels particularly confident cutting them off either. This has become a bit of an awkward situation as they now make a beeline for Pure. Wits from out of nowhere catches the Juggernaut by surprise, and Amaru Gaming will finally get themselves something off of that beautiful rotation from the carry.
That was a very, very unusual rotation when you go through the gate around the Wisdom timing to come from behind to gank, So definitely catching Pure by surprise. He wasn't ready for that at all. But I think they came out with a better trade, getting the Wisdom Shrine in there. So I feel like you should be happy as Tundra.
Sure, yeah. I mean, 33 still undisturbed up here, and if you get a kill onto the carry, that is going to make everything worth it. Now, Whitemon barely has enough mana for 1 little ice path. Wit still has some lotuses in the pocket. I don't know whether they have enough damage to actually get the kill.
No gush means they can't chase.
Yeah.
He has 0 points in gush because he needed the Kraken Shell and the Anchor Smash for the lane. So that's going to be a
in trouble here. Should be fine. Don't think they have any detection.
Detection? Yeah, I don't think they have
so. Here comes Tai Lung though, Invis Rune.
Ooh, sneaky SF. One of the best runes you can get on SF in the early game when you have Requiem.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If he can land this full Requiem onto 33, it might be a possible kill, but there's Whitemon and BZM around the area. 33, he's walking almost as if he knows Wits is gonna come through, maybe try and pump pick the stun. This has gotten a little bit strange now. 33, he's got to smell something is up. Something can't be right. Landing a full Requiem onto him, but the immediate just Kraken shell off. Ravage onto 3, it's perfect. BZM with the setup on the side. Epicenter in onto the Dragon Knight, and Gardic will be next to fall as well. What was supposed to be a nice setup for Amaru Gaming ends up being 2 kills the way of Tundra instead.
Too much hesitation there. I don't know if the Dragon Knight actually wanted to go, you know. I kind of felt like he maybe felt they didn't have enough damage to kill off the Tide, and he didn't want to go, but the SF was kind of like forcing things in a way, you know. Like he was like constantly pacing around the Tide Hunter, like telling the DK to run in and stun him. He took so long to stun him that I felt like they lost their window of trying to actually kill him, you know.
Yeah. I also think really heads-up play, of course, from 33, right? A lot of the times when you're taking so much damage, your instinct is to run away towards your team. But because 33 actually chose to run directly towards the SF, Tylung couldn't land up that last raise. I think the last raise would have actually killed off the Tidehunter. And then the Ravage doesn't come out, and then you get a pick off, and then the game doesn't look the way it does now. Tundra with a 3k gold lead in this early stage of the game, Amaru Gaming have not really been able to slow them down.
This is going to cause a lot of problems for their slower draft, you know, this SFB's Dragon Knight Trico. How are you going to find a way to create enough room? And on top of that, you didn't get the Wisdom Shrine, right? So if you look at their supports, they're really low level right now, especially on the partner. He's only just cracking level 4 on Gardic.
Oh my goodness, nobody Google Gardic level right now at level 10, at minute 10. Why are we... Come on, man. Our observers even pointing it. Just let's look away. Just let the man get his levels in peace. Jeez, that's cruel. I mean, something we also didn't mention, apart from the absolute travesty that is the support levels, is that Whitemon, he's just been on a god-given duty going to every single lane and taking down the towers. He's taken the bot tower, he's taken the bot top tier one, and now he's working on the mid. And once you start losing these areas on the map, it becomes so much harder for the supports on Amaru to play. Bot lane being pinged out, BZM looking for an angle, wants to use the amp damage rune onto Repugnance, the Hawk gonna find him. Actually, he's not making a move in, a little bit awkward there. Ooh, last slash, he knew. Sorry for doubting you, Pure. He knew. My bad, brother.
Yeah, he was just waiting for the last moment, you know. He didn't want to use the ulti if he doesn't need to.
Classic
Efficiency, you know,
moment.
all the pro players just being as efficient as possible.
Sure.
Tylung.
Lasso now, Tylung being caught, BZM with the tail end of this amp damage, not even needing to use the Barrow Strike. He doesn't have mana for Whitemon there to cut him off. The map movement from Tundra has been sublime so far. 5k gold lead at this point, it just continues to grow, and Winter,
33?
you've got to ask, what can you even do? 33 now. Left alone up in the top lane, this might be a good pick for Amaru, finally. They needed that.
Yeah, they also need to secure their side of the jungle, right? At this point, their triangle has been completely overtaken by Tundra. They don't get to farm Ancients on the bottom side of the map. I mean, poor Beastmaster, he has no room to farm. Look at him.
It's so
He's
easy.
in front of his base, but he can't even farm the camps.
Yeah, and even using the body blocks of the Sand King to make sure that Whitemon can throw in even more damage. The Sandstorm as well is what finishes him off in the end. I think Amaru, I mean, at this point, you kind of gotta just... I don't think you can even take this area back. Not with 4 Tundra heroes just standing here.
I mean, I feel like if you don't have this area, there's nothing for you to play, you know. Like, you have to bare minimum defend this area. They have to try. I think when you get the dagger on Dragon Knight, that's probably the time for you to try and at least, you know, smoke and try to reclaim the area. Because if you don't get this area, I think you're just going to slowly bleed out and lose the game.
I'm just looking at the items here. Armlet for the Dragon Knight, you know, your SF, he's working towards that. I assume what will be a Yasha Kaya, only has the Yasha. It's not really the type of items that you feel like are going to be able to help you make plays, right? It is that Blink Dagger that we're waiting for. The Beastmaster still working on that Helm of the Overlord. They can just keep regrouping back into this triangle, Tundra. They have no reason to leave. Amaru, a bit too weak right now to really force Tundra away.
Yeah, they're gonna need, let's say, like maybe 2 to 3 minutes to farm. They really need this dagger on Dragon Knight because he's going to be the main hero that initiates and finds the moves for them, you know. I mean, he's not too far away. 300 gold. He's gonna get there soon. So a couple more camps in the jungle, he's gonna have it. But the concern is how much more you're gonna lose on the map, right? If you look at how Tundra is farming, they have completely overtaken the bottom side, and 33 is basically solo farming top everything. He feels like he's unkillable, you know. He has a plate mail, he has an offering, power threads. He's very, very tanky. I mean, you gotta bring at least 3 to 4 heroes to kill him. If you
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to.
the previous time they killed him, it was because he was committing very hard for a solo kill, right? And then it all just TP'd in. How did it all go so wrong, Winter? Because we were so concerned about the Beastmaster Hoodwink, and then we looked at bot lane, and suddenly Beastmaster Hoodwink getting a first blood, and I thought, yeah, hey, you know, this could be actually something decent for Amaru. And then we blink, and then suddenly Pure and Whitemon are just diving this beast under his own tower.
Yeah, it all started with Ari moving around. I think Ari did a fantastic job this game. You know, he secured the tide, and once he secured the tide, pulling the waves, securing the levels, then he started to move around. You know, he was pressuring the SF in mid. If you remember in the early game when they were playing for the water runes, and then he TP'd bot, he killed the Beastmaster as well under the tower. So he's been doing a lot of good things, you know, for his team. I think he's the main guy, you know, that created a lot of space for all the cores to farm.
Yeah, we were joking about the position 4 tryouts for Tundra, right? And of course, when you're replacing someone like Sax, are huge, huge shoes to fill. But I think Ari, he's done it magnificently and showing why he belongs on this championship caliber roster here in this
Mike,
game number 1.
Post 4 is what I would deem as the most important position of a team. It's like the soul of the team, you know. A lot of the movements are determined by him. Hang on.
Hang on, BZM. Oh, Blink Dragon Knight catching him completely off guard. That is what you needed. A kill streak going the way of Gardic, which I'm sorry, not Gardic, Knight, but it's not great, but I think you are within the we take whatever we can get territory.
Yeah, but they're also not reclaiming the jungle, you know. They just left the area after killing the Sand King, and because of that, Tundra is gonna reclaim the area again, you know. They just kill off the Hoodwink when he's trying to deward.
Now, you don't need to claim anything that you never lost. Now, if they can find the kill into Pure, they'll be even bigger. Blink stun, too slow.
He reacted. Holy crap,
Wits, you might be 17 years old, but Pure still got one on you.
That was some reaction.
Yeah.
He was ready. He was definitely looking at his hero.
Here comes the rest of the team. 33, running in now Gardic. He is in an unfortunate position where he can't really help his Dragon Knight. It's just left him completely alone. And honestly speaking, I don't even know if Gardic being there would have made a difference.
Probably not.
BZM,
BZM gets a solo kill. Alright, this is really, really bad news right now for Oscar. I mean, this is the type of game where in pub, you just feel like you lost all 3 lanes and everybody is just scattered across the map to farm, and you're desperately just trying to collect the scraps on the map and hoping that your opponents are gonna make a mistake for you to come back in the game.
This is one of those things that, you know, it probably is easy to look at Amaru and say, you know, they're messing up the lanes and stuff, but I think part of it goes back to the draft, right? When we saw the Tundra, wow, they're even gonna that's a little bit of hate. Okay, I see you, 33. He don't like squirrels. I get that. But yeah, jokes aside, we were talking about the Bat Rider and the Jakiro needing a mid laner to go in for them, right? That complementary core is so important. You look at the supports on Amaru, you got a Pugner, you got a Hoodwink, and then you got an SF. Like that just doesn't really add up, no?
Yeah, you gotta enable your supports, you know. I think Dota has just evolved so much that, I mean, it used to be a default thing in draft where you always want to enable your cores. But I think nowadays, because of how much power the supports have in the early game to change the flow of how your game is looking, you kind of want to have cores that also enable the supports. I think it goes both ways now. Yeah. So this,
and I mean, the Sand King goes so nicely with the bat, right?
Yeah, like you mentioned, the SF with the Hoodwink and Pugner is not really that obvious. Like, how are they going to fight in the river and the ruins and whatnot? Sure, when you get your items, it's easy. But before that, if you compare that to the Tundra supports with the Sand King, it's easier. You know, Sand King just goes in, stuns, and you have the Jakiro and Bat Rider to follow up. It's very straightforward.
Aegis grab now for Pure. As yeah, I mean, no question about it. Tundra, they've constructed a very clean and well-rounded draft for themselves. Plays very nicely into each other. Amaru were trying for some sort of a smoke to catch someone
Yeah, but
farming
the
here. It might
lanes
be
are just so bad, so they are like the early detectors, sounding the alarm. So Tundra knows something is up, So immediately when the lanes don't look like anyone's going to attend to them, the Sand King just backs off. BZM just knows something is up.
I mean, literally look at Whitemon's position. He has a solo Jakiro is auto-attacking the tier 3 in the top lane. If that doesn't tell you...
they're not here,
He knows they're not here, yeah. I mean, if that doesn't tell you they have completely ID'd your location, I don't know what will. Bit of an awkward swing and a miss there. Knight just whiffing that bushwhack. Don't think it really would have amounted to anything, but now 33 Pure on your high ground. Starting to beat away on the tier 3 tower. What's the play here, Amaru? You need to try and defend, but how will you do so? Kind of feels like you need your Dragon Knight to blink in first, but then surely that's suicide. Is it just gonna be a Rex for free?
I mean, there's a lasso.
Bicenter,
Lung's in
Lasso,
trouble.
Tai Lung's dead. Tai Lung's in more than trouble. No save for him as Pure even walking up to the tier 3 tower in the mid to just spin and ward them off. Meanwhile, 33 not bothered by a thing. A bit of an Omni Slash, okay.
Whoa.
Saw the decrep being used, immediately jumped the gun and kills off that support.
I mean, he knows that they are very, very far ahead and they don't really need his Omni to win the team fight, sorry, because the rest of the heroes provide so much damage.
Yeah. I mean,
the
even in a
Tide has
5v5
Shivas.
situation, I don't...
The Tide has Shivas pre-20 minutes, how bad this Tide is.
You can see how good they're feeling on the play cams as well. Pure with a wide smile on his face, tipping Whitemon, probably laughing about something. 17k gold lead. This has not been close in the slightest. And for a DreamLeague debut, definitely not how Amaru Gaming wanted to kick things off. Bit of a disconnect, probably just quick tech issue that quick reconnect will fix. But I'm gonna level with you, Winter. I don't really know what kind of fight needs to happen for Amaru to actually come back. It almost feels like Tundra need to run it down into the fountain.
Well, it's pretty difficult, not gonna lie. You're gonna need like some you definitely need BKB on SF so that you can blow someone up, dagger in and blow someone up. I think that would be like a good way to start the team fights. And
Sure.
hope for I mean, you have the hope for the partner to save you from the Omni Slash, and then the Hoodwink kind of needs to somehow burst the tide with the sharpshooter. There's so many things.
Right, yeah, the Hoodwink, let's quick check. Hoodwink, level 9, no shard, no items. Searing Signet though. Searing Signet, okay. Burst Tide, who is, quick check again, 2,254 HP, Shiva's Blades, Power Treads, Soul Ring, and a Magic Wand. Okay. Yeah, we'll see whether that can happen, Winter. That's, yeah, I don't know. Try for a jump and a stun, immediate Manta off from Pure. Gonna get himself back up to safety. This can get a bit hairy though. You don't want to find yourself in an awkward position. Start off with the stun, but in comes the Burrow Strike, the Ravage! It's devastation! Now this Requiem ain't gonna hit shit right now, and unfortunately an immediate buyback from the Beastmaster ain't gonna do anything for you either. Burrow Strike, Ice Paths all around. Too much stuff on the ground for Amaru to contend with, as they are buying back in spades, but really, what can they even do in this situation? They still have a Raw available, but everything else has been used.
Yeah, they're just really praying that Tundra is going to take a shower in the fountain, in the Dire base.
Yeah. They're feeling a bit grimy. Maybe they haven't had their evening shower just yet, but the 3, he seems perfectly happy swimming right in front of their faces. Gardic trying to run for who knows where. Not gonna survive that attempt. Gardic with the immediate buyback. They rob onto Ari, trying for a kill, but Pure, he's gonna protect his support. What a player. Stopping the sharpshooter from coming through, blocking that with his body, and now Tai Lung caught by yet another Ice Path. Wits is back in the fray though, getting the Aegis of that Jug. But BZM there with another Epicenter. It's just too much for them to deal with. They come back through, Omni Slash, cut down the Dragon Knight, slay the beast, and GG is finally called. Amaru Gaming, that was not much of a Game 1 performance, as Tundra completely destroyed their opponents.
Yeah, Tundra just like one class ahead, or even many class ahead of Amaru. I think it's still not something that you should be too Dragon Forms. You have to be able to stop it from damaging your tower too much. And on top of that, once you have done that successfully, defended your mid tower, and then you move with the Storm to gank the side lanes. Because the Storm he's going to have the advantage in terms of moving to the side lanes because he's more mobile as a hero compared to
Oh my
DK.
goodness. Winter, look at that. We got 2 King Poogies around Pure. What the hell? These guys have been grinding. I thought they'd be busy to do all this Monster Hunter stuff, you know, running for tournaments and always traveling and screaming and stuff like that, but they farmed it all the way up. Winter, we had a conversation about this. You said, and I quote, "I do not give a shit about cosmetics."
Why do you gotta do me dirty like this? But
I mean,
I
how
mean,
is it? I mean, you know, people have preferences, right? You never like looked at your hero and thought, you know, this guy could look a lot cooler. You know, you want to play a bit of dress up.
no, unfortunately, no. I'm the kind of guy when I turn on my Dota, I think about what's the flavor of the day. You know, what heroes are working.
Okay.
Why is this heroes working? Why is Spirit Breaker back all of a sudden? Why
Sure.
why is Ari playing Hoodwink all of a sudden?
So maybe you can answer this question while we wait for the players to get back into the game. Yesterday, I spotted you playing a very ugly Venomancer. What was that
Oh
about?
my god, damn it! Like,
Yeah, you thought you could hide from me, Winter? This guy blaming me for
Bro.
picking Venomancer, and he's trying it for himself. I gotta expose you. Sorry.
I'm not
homie.
gonna reveal the true reason why I picked Venomancer in that game.
That's
Let's
fine.
just
That's
say that
fine.
I was just trying to have fun.
Sure. Okay. Let's leave it as that. Amaru, I'm sure they didn't really have much fun after that game, number one. But now on some signature picks, Tai Lung, you know, we were sort of discussing his pool a bit. The Storm Spirit is something he's very confident on, arguably more so than the SF. So hopefully that means not a quick stomp on the side of Tundra. Of course, Tundra also working with a bit more of an unorthodox draft and a bit of an unorthodox smoke timing. They're going to run into Wits, who seems to... I think maybe he was smoked as well. His smoke broke, so
actually going on? Yeah, I guess he just tried. He was
I
trying
believe
to
he
break
was
the
smoked.
smoke.
If I'm not wrong,
I mean, he was
smoked,
trying to
yeah.
break the smoke in a very dangerous position. You know, I feel like that was
Yeah.
so risky for him to do that.
I mean, if the Shadow Demon was up front and center, that's just a
he's dead.
disruption into your death, right?
Yeah, precisely.
Maybe a little bit of an educated gamble there, but looks like both teams staying clear of each other. Amaru gaming with control of the top side of the map, and he's gonna start slowly making his way over there, but will not find any trouble. 2 for 2. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, and you see 33 already just behind the tower getting ready to block. Just classic stuff, you know. You want to secure a lane. This is really, really important. Both sides are doing the same thing. Actually, no, Pure. He's forced to skill his Disseminate to escape.
Oh, is he? My goodness, he's taking quite a bit of damage. Actually, gonna get run down
my
in the
God,
tower.
is he gonna
Are they
die?
going to kill him? And the courier? Okay. Okay, well, I mean, you couldn't ask for a bit of a better start there on Amaru Gaming. Sure, it's not a mid lane first blood easy bottle, but that's not too bad, taking down the carry of Team Tundra.
Yeah, and forcing the Disseminate. I saw that is actually... sorry, the Disseminate, not Disseminate. That's the SD spell. And this is a very, very big deal in the laning phase, you know, so... I think this is a dream start, you know, if you want to call that, you know, for Amaru Gaming right now.
Sure. I mean, the biggest question of all is to see what exactly Oscar can get done with it, right? Earlier in that game, number one, he had such a difficult time coming online on the Beastmaster, and he was the most important hero that Amaru needed to enable. Weren't able to do so, and maybe now the Mars, we can see him get something like an early Yule, start making moves on the map. A long way to go though, as now our eyes on this bot lane. You were talking about this Jakiro and the Kez being a deadly duo. Shadow Demon and, you know, Centaur still feels like quite a decent amount of kill threat if the Jakiro's not careful enough.
Yeah, level 2 is when things start to get spicy. Centaur is popping level 2 now. So they're going to have kill threat. If he gets the disrupt on the Jakiro, they definitely have damage to kill him.
And Winter, I just saw something that made me cackle. I've been playing a lot of Jakiro myself, and you know, this hero's great and all. You know, we talk a lot about the level 2, level 3 power spikes, liquid fire, you know, early game dominance, ice path, yada yada. I love that double attack, man. No support can D-Ward against me. Did you see that fool? Ari was in there trying to get a D-Ward on the small cam. Gardic just comes around, clicks one button, ward's instantly gone. It's not even fair.
Yeah, no, it's not fair. I'm sure everybody is gonna agree with you, you know, with Jakiro being an unfair hero.
Yeah, no, it's just not fun to play against. But I will pick it. I have no shame. Okay, I think.
Yeah, then don't give me
it's
shit
fun.
for picking Venomancer. God damn it.
Venomancer, you know, he needs a little bit more than one click to reward a sentry, but that's besides the point. Let's see whether this Jakiro can do as much work as Whitemon did. In that earlier game number 1, we saw Whitemon just kind of half towards all the tier 1 towers. He had them taken down by what felt like 10 minutes. So much map pressure from the Pause 5 alone. Lane's pretty quiet so far though. I guess everybody mostly getting their CS. Doesn't seem like anyone is particularly getting a major advantage.
Yeah, the runes are gonna be I think, the important thing to look at, you know, in this game. With this Storm against DK match. I think in the early game, they're just gonna like trade farm. But when the runes, the power runes start to spawn, that's when things are going to heat up, you know, for both sides.
Sure. Okay, well, I mean, since everything's a bit cut and dry at the moment, let's talk about the huge purple elephant in the room. What the hell is this Phoenix Void Spirit lane supposed to do? Is it strong? Is it weak? I've never seen this before in my life, Winter.
You think I've seen a Void Phoenix lane in my life? Void Spirit Phoenix lane. I feel like it's not like the strongest lane, like in terms of synergy, like when you're trying to kill heroes. But it's good at like, I think just securing your own farm, you know. Like the Phoenix is a great bodyguard. He's jumping in.
Look at Whitemon.
He's gonna get a kill here.
Nice use of the Dying Light, walking right back up to the poor Knight Tusk. And he will take a nap. Come back to the lane. And that was a bit weird. I'm not really sure what Knight was planning there because he kind of pathed under the tower randomly. He took a lot of damage and then Whitemon just decided to jump on him. Body block like you mentioned and the stun. Here comes Whitemon. Again, another situation where the Tundra supports, they're just making way too much happen. Snowball in, looking for the kill onto BZM. Bringing Tai Lung in but had a big one on BZM. Turning around now with the Dragon's Breath. Still not enough to take down the DK and now this Tusk, he's in trouble again. Whitemon is gonna burn him up to a crisp. And that is 3 kills for the Phoenix within the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is one of the best supports to get kills in the early game. You know, you snowball really hard, you know. Very nice play there, giving the Lotus, it's not just a big wand from Dragon Knight, but it's also a Lotus being fed from Whitemon, keeping him topped up in that fight. I mean, this Tusk is going to have a really miserable game right now, you know, after dying back to death like that, you know. You die in the lane and then you TP to gank another lane and you die again. That's like the worst possible outcome for you.
Kind of maybe a bit overzealous as well. You look at the Tusk's levels, he's level 2, right? You imagine maybe if he's level 3 or has one more point in a spell or something like that, that damage.
Yeah, that would have definitely
worked.
Sure,
it's gonna matter, right?
If he's like, level 3, I think it would have worked.
Yeah, like maybe even an Ice Shards just to block off BZM. Tundra just had their way in that mid lane, and now you're in another situation where, sure, BZM suffering a little bit in terms of the CS, but he has a full wave pushing towards him. He didn't end up dying. The Storm, you know, now is 1 kill behind. You gotta hit that level 6 first as well.
Yeah, and 33 is also playing very safe, you know, bottom. He knows the Tusk is missing, just not giving anything away.
He's just not stopping. One more Fire Spirits is all it takes. Looks like Oscar will go down. More than enough magic damage. Whitemon is solo carrying this game right now.
This Void Spirit seems like it's working really well with the Phoenix, you know. It doesn't really need too much protection, so Whitemon is allowed to just move around and do whatever he's pleased. And on the bright side for Tai Lung, he picks up the first power rune, Haste Rune. So let's see if he can use it to maybe create some pressure on the side lanes, you know. Wisdom.
Big stacks in the triangle are spotted out though. So Amaru know that Tundra are preparing this.
Oh no, Oscar, he just TP'd back to the lane. He doesn't want to die
here. No, not
like
this. He is absolutely dead, and unfortunately, I'm not sure whether there's anything he can do to stop it. Snowball save, that's a good way to start. Ari is going to come back into a spear. Pure chaos now as Heroes just collapsing onto this top lane. Turns out the Mars not quite as dead as we thought. Dissimilate forced out down to the low ground, and now it's BZM in a very rough position. Amaru Gaming, they learn from their mistakes and they bring the full force. All 5 members come up here to defend right around the 7 minutes and force Tundra back.
The last game, I think the carry didn't show up. I think Wits didn't show up last game. This time he needs to come to the fight to secure the Wisdom Shrine. And Tai Lung picks off Pure towards the end. They're very nice. think
I
Pure
mean,
just
I guess
TP'd
Pure
back.
just
Was he
TP'd
low?
mid, right?
I think he TP'd from top and when he was low, and then he just dies.
Yeah, that is a very uncharacteristic mistake from Pure, and just off of that alone, game's even. I mean, I was a bit too quick to call it, saying that the Mars was there for sure. Turns out now he's getting his level 6 in the top lane. Now he's putting pressure up on the top tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
Very, very nice stuff from Amaru.
Double bracer saving his life, and obviously the nice snowball as well. Just keeping him alive there.
I think it was very important as well that amidst the rainbow TPs, it was the Tusk that TP'd first because, you know, if you're one of those later TPs, you're not making it in time for the snowball save. So whether that was communicator or not, props to Amaru now. A beautiful shot cutting off Ari. Oh man, Wits. I mean, he's starting to power up the disruption. Too many disc starting spells. Yeah, no, you got me all. Yeah, a little bit. But it's all good. Gardic now is the one to secure that kill. 33 being slowed down as well. He still has a Hoof Stomp. You really have a way of slowing him down. Have to cut him off with that Ice Shards. That's a Raptor's Dance, and beautiful stuff. I mean, they'll get the kill. Amaru, they are starting to come online here. They will lose Knight for it. Say that. A snowball to the creeps. You got a disruption. Ice Puff, beautiful. Okay. I mean, Amaru Gaming, they're not ready to go quietly into the night. They still got some fight left in them, keeping the game even for themselves here.
Yeah, Knight is definitely doing what Ari did in the first game. You know, all his early game rotations were so impactful on the back either. And this time, Knight on the Tusk, even though he had a rough start, but he's like showing his worth, you know, with the last couple of moves that he's been making. Well, he's still quite low level, but yeah, I think the state of the game is actually very, very nice. Your Cass being the top of the net worth chart right now. 4.3k net worth, 9 minutes in. He's having a very, very good game working into his Desolator. Like, yeah, heroes come online very, very quickly, you know. So things could get very, very heated for Tundra if they don't slow down this Cass train. If they could kill him,
all you really need is like one item, right?
They just need to try to find one kill on the Cass, you know, that would actually slow him down. This Cass with the Deso, with the Falcon Blade, is just such a huge power spike.
And for now, they're going to start on the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Not much that Oscar can do to defend this one. Especially if Pure going for a Helm of the Dominator himself. So
Yeah,
that's the build that he's opting for now.
Very interesting. So Helm into Radiance, I presume.
I mean, what else do you get on voice? Like a Manta, maybe?
I think you go.
I don't even know if you
Radiance.
want Manta. Like, do you even need
a
it?
farming item. I think you need farming item.
Sure.
But he's buying treads
Well,
first.
Knight again in some trouble, but it's Tylong to zip in, look for a kill. Shots actually ends up gimping them a little bit. They were trying to trap the Shadow Demon in. They end up saving his life. Not much to be found there, but Tylong does secure the Amplified Damage rune for another day.
And Whitemon's level 6, you know, that could have also been a dangerous situation there if they committed. I mean, right now Tundra is looking to play the map with the double Helm, right? They have Helm on center and they have Helm on the Void Spirit. So they're going to be just slowly farming, trying to take as much areas as they can on the map. And the supports are going to be the ones that are moving around trying to set up plays, right? And even if you look at the DK is not rushing dagger. He's getting armlet, so they're just playing for the full greed, you know?
I mean, I like it because if you look at Amaru Gaming's team, right, it's a lot about running around the map and finding these pickoffs. They don't have the best way of forcing objectives other than maybe the Jakiro. Bit of a zip in. Tylong, last hit onto the high ground, no misses there. Gets
I mean, if you
himself
can
a kill
get
and another
kills,
galvanized stacks.
if you get kill off the heroes that are pushing the lane, then you can attack the towers with Jakiro.
But for now, if there's always going to be heroes pushing out the waves, it's going to be very hard.
Whitemon
actually committing in. Not even going to need to use the egg. Just fire spiriting him down. That is brutal. Whitemon, an absolute beast and pure. He'll get his revenge on Tylong in the mid lane. How did he find that?
How did he actually just kill the Storm on his own?
That's crazy.
That is actually some insane stuff right there, you know, from Pure. Just making a rotation over connecting to the Phoenix. Just using the Phoenix as like a power play right now. You know, they know that with the egg, they are very, very strong in a team fight.
Yeah.
Here comes
STP
the
is
Mars.
coming in, trying to find an arena. Catches it onto 2. Kez starting to put out the damage as well. Huge macro pyre burning up the DK. The egg comes in too late. It's not going to threaten anyone. Nice disruption to try and protect it. The egg will go off.
Nice dodge.
Beautiful snowball. Right in the nick of time. Helps them dodge a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Whitemon diving in. Bursting them all down. Whitemon, he's unstoppable, but is it going to be enough to salvage Pure's life? Walking towards the shield rune, Tai Lung needs to grab it. Doesn't manage to snatch it away from Pure, and now Tai Lung is in trouble. 33 running over, finally connecting with the team, but they weren't able to make the most of that arena play. Sure, they killed the DK, but they have yet to find anyone else. Even Ari surviving on a sliver. Their wits will cut him down to size. Tai Lung using the last of his mana to try and zip out to safety, but Pure will allow him no breather. Another kill being found as Oscar desperately trying to hunt, but the only thing you've worked through is his shield rune. Oh no, and the tier 1 tower goes down as well. Pure and Tundra, they get what they came for initially, along with a very nice few kills to line their pockets with.
It's definitely been the support show, right? The Phoenix against the Tusk. For Whitemon and Knight showing their worth, in the team fights. And Whitemon again, gets... Okay, he doesn't get the last hit. Somehow 33 gets the last hit with his creep.
We will see a replay of that amazing fight. Whitemon there with an egg that was meant to turn the tides of the fight into a snowball save. But at that point, the heroes on Amaru were way too low. Whitemon with a huge Icarus dive and the Fire Spirits laying waste to their lineup. And Amaru, from that point on, they just had to slowly run. Maybe Tai Lung could have stood up and fight if he managed to snag that shield rune away from Pure. But Pure, way too quick. I mean, these guys might be 16, 17 years old, but it doesn't seem like Pure is getting lost on the reaction front of things. Still very much on top. And sure, they managed to get the kill onto Ari, so it ends up being, what, a 2 for 3, 2 for 4 exchange almost? But Tundra, for sure, very happy with that exchange.
Yeah, they're also farming on the sides, right? With the Helm of Dawn and Santos sitting down on the side lane, so they're slowly building up a lead, and now 40 minutes of Wisdom Shrines coming up. Tundra is setting up to steal Amaru's Wisdom Shrine, and they have to bring their heroes, they have to bring them quickly.
I don't think they're going to make it in time. Wisdom Shrine already stolen away, and hell, they're not even going to lose a thing. Tai Lung zipping forward, looking for an angle, finds the pull onto Pure, but nobody is near enough to capitalize on that. That is just awkward, and
the last couple
you
of
bring
minutes,
all heroes this time, but it's too late.
Last couple of minutes have been very, very tough, for Amaru. They're struggling to keep up pace, They're getting pressured by the Helm of Dawn on the side lanes. Like, it's very annoying, right? Because they are ghost pushing the wave, they're dragging their waves, and you have to deal with the waves. And at the same time, you kind of need to make moves on your own, right? Because your lineup is, I think, if you go late game against what Tundra have, it kind of feels like you're not going to be able to compete. So you kind of have to play fast, and you have to use your lineup's power spike right now. And at the same time, you have to also deal with the Helm pushing out the top, pushing out the bot, so there's just so many things happening at the same time, and it's just like making it very difficult for Amaru to find their moves in the game, and on top of that, they don't even have Dagger on Mars yet.
This is so obnoxious because you talked about the Kez being a problem, right? He has that Deso, has that Falcon Blade. This is supposed to be the timing for Amaru, but the problem is the rest of their team members just can't really set anything
And look
up
at the
for
Helm
Wits to be part
creeps.
of.
The creeps are just dragging waves after
my
wave
goodness.
at top and at mid. It's very, very difficult for Amaru to attack or bring heroes to the Tundra side of the map to control areas, because of all of this Helm creep. Look at the Helm creep at the mid lane and the top lane, they're just pulling waves.
I see it. I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what you're supposed to do in this situation because Amaru, they're geared up here trying to look for an angle, but look at Tundra, completely aware of their movements because the creep waves, they're just giving away everything.
Alright, so the Void Spirit is going Octarine Core after the Helm of Dawn. What is this build?
Sure. Why not, brother? I mean, power to you. You gotta bring BZM up to the top lane, get a free kill onto the Mars. It's just, has to be one of the most frustrating situations.
Alright, TP mid. They're bringing the heroes here to defend the tower, get another kill. The supports are setting up on Tundra on the side.
Yeah, I don't know if you can stick around here,
I mean,
Amaru.
look at how much of the map they have. They're literally farming everything. If you look at all the dots on the map.
Yeah. Agardix did too. At Amaru, there's
BZM.
not much of a game for them to play, to be honest. BZM, he does get caught alone. Wits is going to TP in to try and help. Tai Lung looks like he's found a pick, but nice stampede, snowball for the chase. Storm's trying to help him out. The last bit of damage, the armlet toggle. BZM, are you serious? He's way too good. You can't get him. He's going to toggle again and survive. Turn around, start smacking into the Mars. This Dragon Knight cannot be slain as he will turn around and lay his sword into your neck. How dare you come for the mid laner? I mean, that voice line says it all. You fought and died. I'm not sure how much honor was involved there, but 33, he'll chase down the Storm. How often do you see that? Domination all across the map. The toggles on the armlet were insane as Whitemon burning that Jakiro to a crisp. That ice path is the only thing that keeps him safe, but look at 33. Still chasing in, not afraid of a thing. Using the creep of the Croaker to push up Wits. Nice little Raven's Dance. Is that going to be enough though? Diving forward, magic damage, it's there, might just burn out the Tusk. Last bit of HP will survive. So with that Raptor's Dance as well as the Walrus Punch, they're able to extract at least some of their cores, but still heavy casualties. And I mean, Winter, a 10k gold lead, this is awful. I mean, 33, look at him. He has no reaction on his face right now.
Business as usual. He has his pipe, he has his helm, he has Blade Mail just farming away, they can't kill him.
Okay.
I mean, the move all started because the 33 Centaur landed he landed a very clutch stun, you know, to save the DK. Sure, all that armlet toggling was like kind of nice, you know, but it all started because the Centaur, he landed a stun at the last moment with the edge of the AoE to prevent them from killing the Dragon Knight, you know. Let's see if he can actually catch this. Okay, maybe not. That's not the stun.
No, it's coming. Walk up.
Is it?
You know, it's DK
yeah, it's coming here. Look
it looks like he's so done, right? But then look at 33,
look at his stun.
waiting for the stun. Oh my goodness.
It was at the edge, literally at the edge, you know. If the Tusker would have gotten one more spell off or one right click, he would have just killed the DK.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that as well. And then in comes the Mars, but at that point, he's already used his spell, so he doesn't have anything. The Egg's covering, it's just a mess. There's hero after hero, and worst of all, I mean, this is so annoying. Can you imagine this little ghost creep slowing you down, and then you get stomped? Meanwhile, back at live, Ari and the gang have somehow found Wits, killed off that Kaz, and looks like the Jakiro's next. Safe lane carry and his support going down in tandem. Ari with a double kill. And Tundra, they're making this one look absurdly easy right now, just off of Whitemon with these early rotations. His Phoenix completely destroyed them.
Yeah, also this carry, Void Spirit, is something that is very, very interesting. And he's kind of like a rotating carry, an active carry that comes online quickly, and he's just rotating around the map to help the other two cause some, because of the way they are playing this lineup, right? Because the mid DK is playing like a carry DK, and the safe lane Void Spirit is playing kind of like a mid Void Spirit, you know, to kind of balance the whole lineup up. So this is really, really interesting.
I was honestly so concerned for Tundra because even in their last pick with the DK, yes, you got a DK stun, but it felt like it was a game that Amaru, their Kaz, their Storm, maybe could get away with the lack of control. But even with that being the case, it just feels like Tundra, they're so strong and they have so much map presence. You just haven't really been able to farm. I mean, look at the net worth. 7,500 on the Storm. Sure, the Kaz is doing pretty well for himself keeping up, but he's barely had a team to play around. I don't even know what you do in this situation.
Yeah, it's just tough. You have to kind of kick out the Helm of Dom creeps, and then you can only move around to try to smoke and push out the other heroes of the map. You know, it's just like too many things that you have to really do, you know.
You don't really have a lot of wave clear, right? I think that's one of the things that Amaru Gaming is lacking.
I mean, they do have wave clear, like with Jakiro, I think their heroes can push out the waves. It's more about like who are you, you know, allocating the jobs in the map. You know, how are you sending heroes around the map? Are you using the right heroes to move around? And they're also not exactly getting runes on the Storm Spirit, right? I think that's why you feel like the Storm is like kind of underwhelming. He's not really getting moves out of this hero. I mean, this map control, I think it's just so difficult for them to look at the helm creeps. You know, it's just so disgusting.
Yeah. I don't think Amaru have actually made it across the river in the past 5 or so minutes. Because I'm looking at the wards. They just can't even pass. This right here that we're seeing on our screen right now is the closest they've been to the Tundra side of the map. Meanwhile, look at Tundra. Just taking a free Tormentor. Okay. Easy. Shard for free for Whitemon as if he needed any more help doing absurd amount of damage. Solar Crest, Drums, Gem picked up for him. This is one of the most farmed position 5s we've seen in a while. This position 5 is same net worth as your mid laner on Amaru.
Yikes. That is definitely not good news.
No, not at all. And we look at the items on the side of Amaru. Is there anything that could come up that might change things? Aghanim Scepter picked up for the Kez. Looking at the Storm Spirit, doesn't really have anything new flying out. Blink Dagger on the Mars, I guess, but that's about it. He has the Shard coming out. So they're gonna smoke, try and look for some sort of a fight on the back of this Axe Kez.
This has to work, Mike. This has to work.
Yeah.
I mean, both sides are smoked up right now. This Void Spirit is very, very tanky. I don't know if he's gonna be a good target to go on first.
I mean, they blink away. They don't want any of this smoke. And they'll just find themselves a free Jakiro, it seems like. There's a spear. Like you mentioned, Void Spirit, very tanky. They're putting a lot of damage into him. He's able to dissimulate, get down, not even to the low ground, but to a safe enough distance. That damage over time from the Kez is ticking. But Solar Crest damage barrier is there to keep him alive. Very nicely done from Whitemon to preserve his carry.
And this build is just so hard to kill, you know, on the Void Spirit. It's like so tanky with the Sunray behind him. Like, he is definitely not a hero that you want to jump on first. There's no way, man.
Yeah. He's gotten the Octarine, like you mentioned, the Shard as well, and now he's working his way towards the Aghanim Scepter. And Tundra, you know, they see a bunch of spells being used, no Arena, no Macro Pyre, okay, free Roshan. What you gonna do, Amaru? What's the play?
I mean, they're just taking the mid tower. That's the trade.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know if they'll get that. Look at the Void Spirit TPing in immediately. They're worried. There's a spear. There's a zip. The question is, can you kill him? I mean, Whitemon, he's shown his presence. Now he's got a Sunray. The catch is there. And oh no, Oscar, you trade your life for the mid-tier 1. That's certainly not the good trade. Meanwhile, BZM's taking the Aegis. I don't know. Winter, I really don't know what you could try to do as Amaru. They'll try again. Punch up, but it's really just a bait to take down Ahri on the low ground. Can they get out with their lives? That's the big question. Tai Long able to zip away after the Dragonite stun has ended. Creating the distance, looking for a TP, and he will manage to escape.
It's really, really tough right now. They are like trying to find scraps on the map, but every time it seems like they're gonna find something, Tundra just shows up, and they don't even give anything for free. You know, they're just trying to fight for every single piece of map on the side of Tundra right now. Like, even a tier 1 tower takes so much effort to kill.
Yeah. Even you ever see a more uneven trade? Tier 1 tower for Aegis and an offlaner. That's painful stuff. Trying to find Pure again, but I mean, Whitemon has just never really left his side. There's the Sunray. Disruption from Ahri. Double saves coming in from the supports. They might be able to take down Ahri. Not even! How is he alive on the Shadow Demon? Tyler's desperately gonna chase him, but you're chasing into an egg. You need to jump up to the north. You've already lost 2, and the last 2 auto attacks kill off the Storm. Wits trying to get down to the low ground. Sunray,
oh my
Stomp
God.
is there. Oh my goodness, that's gotta be some of the biggest hooves I've seen in my life. A Pure now gonna chase down onto Gardeck, even dominating a Croaker just to pump him up into the sky. That is cruel. And it ends up being a full team wipe. No mercy shown at all from Tundra. You might have thought maybe they want to play it chill, maybe they want to take it easy in these first few games of DreamLeague Season 27. I mean, hell, they've been traveling around the world, they've been winning these lands. Not a moment of respite for their opponents, unfortunately. Amaru just on the receiving end of this dominance.
Yeah, what a tough series, you know, for Amaru. Getting a lot of lessons handed at them, you know, at the same time, you know. Gotta learn how to play the first 7 minutes. I think this game they kind of improve on the Wisdom Shrine, right? The first Wisdom Shrine 7 minutes. They brought 5 heroes to defend it. I mean, now the Centaur is not even close to dying after all 5 heroes.
I'm like,
all 5 heroes went on him.
That's the thing, right? I'm like about to cast this fight, and then like, 2 seconds in, I realize nothing is going to happen. Like, maybe Gardeck dies. You're gonna jump forward, get stomped, get killed. BZM is in as well. Okay, you buy back on the Jakiro. You're gonna try and one last little fight here. I mean, all you need is a Sunray or Disruption. There it is. Ahri with the save. Macropie is there though. BZM in a little bit of trouble, but he does have that Aegis though. That's the problem.
Still has BKB.
He is running low on mana though. So his effectiveness is going to be dampened by a little bit. 7 taking the Rex. Tundra turning their sights back on that. Now in comes the Storm, in comes a huge Sunray, my goodness! Oh, that damage! Snowball save is not going to be nearly enough. As the Disruption, aggressive this time, you'll buy back on Wits to try and slice up anything you can. All you find is illusions. The egg will pop right in front of your tier 4s. That is going to be it for sure. I mean, Tundra really just playing with their food here. Amaru probably taking some time just to discuss what exactly went wrong. One little arena catches 4, but really it's the Mars who dies in his own ultimate. That's got to be shameful. Catching Wits off of that slash, and yeah, no way for him to run. They're just playing around. No harm, no foul. One more. I mean, they're just running into the meat grinder here. Tai Lung, no control, but more than enough damage, and yeah. They'll just wait for every single player to drop before finally calling GG. Amaru, I mean, it's this man on your screen right here, Whitemon on the Phoenix, doing a number on them, taking this series 2-0. Again, coming into this series, I think Tundra versus Amaru, this is the result that you'd expect. But, you know, it's